Alright gentlemen, so today I'm going to be replacing the trigger catch, which is this guy in this Bug Assault 2.0. And the trigger catch is somewhere in the back of the gun over here, and it's kind of like the sear engagement on a regular firearm. And this particular piece of plastic, I was told by the Bug Assault guys that this is the one that usually wears out, even though the other surface, like the plunger that gets released to shoot the gun, it also can wear down too, but they told me that this particular piece is the one that actually wears down the most. So first thing I'm going to do is take all the screws out around the edge over here. Actually, I'm going to empty out the salt first and then take out the rest of the screws. So what actually happens is if you try and rack this up fast, it doesn't catch all the way and it kind of slips out and the salt just flies out of the barrel. So there, cocked that time, but it doesn't do it every time. So sometimes when you're holding the gun a certain direction, like up or down, and you try and cock it, it just doesn't hold the trigger back, the salt goes flying out the front, and we're trying to replace it with this. Alright, I lost the screw somewhere down on the ground, but you can kind of see on here the screws are all rusted. Not all of them are rusted, but some of them are pretty well rusted. And one other thing to note is, this kind of just clamshells on there. You just take these two off and then it comes off. And you need to have some kind of skinny screwdriver like this. Like if it doesn't have a skinny, like long shaft like that, and then you're using some kind of bit screwdriver, it's not going to be able to fit into all these little holes there. So just something to know. Never mind, correct that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 screws that hold the body of it apart, and there's 2 screws that are in here, so 14 screws total. Alright, now I'm just gonna pull apart the two halves of the clamshell, and let's see, this part, it kind of feels like it's still attached over there a little bit. So let me see how you're supposed to, I think you gotta slide it a little bit. Yeah, there you go. You just kind of, you gotta kind of, this black part kind of tucks underneath there, and it's retained underneath there, so it's kind of press fit around that way. So when you put it back on, it's a little bit tricky too, but it'll snap on there, okay. Now that orange guy came off. So yeah, it's supposed to be from the inside. You can kind of see this lip is supposed to go underneath there on the yellow portion, like that. Ooh, is something broke? Nope, that's not broken. Okay. And then here we have the inside of the gun. So the trigger catch, I believe, is underneath here. You can see this little spring portion right there, and that's, I think, that little nipple on top of this trigger catch is what I'm going to replace. You can kind of see how this gun works on the inside. There's like a little chamber down here that pops up and down that holds the salt. So actually when you pull the trigger, it pops that load of salt up and lets the air pressure push it out that way. And it uses like a standard plunger kind of system, like a Nerf gun or something like that. And it's a little bit, all the screws inside here are all kind of rusty too. There's kind of just salt bits everywhere, so it's kind of expected. Everything's going to be a little bit rusty. This has thousands of rounds shot through this, so it's to be expected. All these pieces are made out of plastic, so all these wear points are going to eventually wear out. Alright, so next up is I'm going to take this guy off, this little cap right over here. Hopefully nothing goes flying, the spring stays captured in there adequately. Oops, that screw fell in. Oh, there's some kind of, yeah, it was under spring tension under there, so you gotta keep an eye out. It just kind of popped up a little bit too. So let's see. That's how it's sitting in there. Oh, it's covered in goo too. Some kind of silicone lube or something. Anyway, here's the other screws. Let's try and compare this system here. So I'm not sure what's worn out. Maybe the bottom surface is the one that engages with that little rod down here. So the bottom end looks like it's pretty chewed up compared to this one here. It's not terrible, but it's a little bit chewed up in comparison, so we'll just swap it out and then see if it helps. So this is kind of, yeah, it just kind of slides in and out like that. You can just pull it in and out. So I'm going to swap over the spring, take out the catch. I don't think I need to add any extra goop inside here. It seems like it's fine. And when I put it back in, I'm going to have to put it into this little channel here and give it enough pressure that it retains the spring. So let's see. Alright, that's in there. Oh, my hands are all goopy now. I should probably use gloves for this. It's really slippery. I'm just gonna try and lightly tighten this down so that it doesn't back out on me. Yeah, I should definitely wear gloves for this. It's definitely goopy. Some kind of silicone plastic grease or something like that, just to keep all the parts moving and not cracking. So with those two screws in there, it's being retained fine now. Let's see. I don't know if I can get it to operate with this, just the handle. Oops. Yeah, let's put it back together first. I don't want all these screws to go flying. It's not that many screws, but it's enough. Let me take these out. And then there's like a little pin where that goes there into the plastic. So, oop, that was the the indicator. Your sight, your rear sight and indicator. But it cocked okay. Alright, so you gotta be careful for this rear sight. See what happens. I mean, this guy that pops out like the chamber indicator. So yeah, it fires okay. But you gotta watch out for this guy because it's kind of retained by a spring like this. So if it falls out, goes back in like that, there's like a little pocket for it to go where the spring is slightly compressed in there. So the trigger catch held in there okay, so let me just tighten everything back up. And this is the old guy, so the engagement surface is somewhere down at the bottom over here where it catches. Let's see if I can orient this correctly, like this. So it's catching that little plunger on top this piece down here, but you can see the plastic is a little beat up. There's kind of like a notch kind of in there, and the edge is kind of rounded, so whatever kind of engagement this guy's getting on either side is not holding there properly. Alright, so I'm going to try and get the, let's get it all buttoned back together into here. Fire some more test rounds. Yeah, orange tip. The black portion goes underneath the orange and the yellow goes over the lip. So I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get that in there without just kind of forcing it. But that's what I'm going to do. Alright, there it went. You just kind of force it. There's kind of like a little nick inside there so I can get it started. And then I'm going to slide this black portion underneath there. And then I'm going to try and force that yellow portion over the top. Kind of turning this a little bit might help it. There you go. And then now it's all a matter of just screwing everything back in. So, well, I'm an idiot. I forgot to put the rear sight chamber indicator guy back in. So let's put that guy back in now. And it should be able to go in there just fine. You see this part goes down. This is the sight portion up here, so it kind of fits in. You gotta compress the spring in there and have the sight blade pop out of the top. So hopefully I can get in there and show you guys. Yeah, there you go. So that's what it looks like. It's the spring is being compressed by a little ledge inside there. You'll see when you take the gun apart. There you go. Now we just put it back together. Alright guys, let's put some salt back inside and see if she shoots. I'm probably gonna make a mess here, but oh well. It does shoot better if you fill it up more than this, but I'm just testing right now, so let's see. Cocked fine. Shot fine. Cocked fine again. Yeah, she's holding up. Look at that. No problem. I'm gonna say that's fixed. Thank you, Bug Assault.